Rosebud. Hello, movie lovers, and welcome to Movie Notions. I'm trying to review one classic film each week for the year of 2018, and this week, if you couldn't tell by the intro, is going to be Citizen Kane, starring and directed by Orson Welles. Now, Citizen Kane follows the story of Mr. Kane, and basically it's his rise and fall of power. He becomes a media tycoon where he basically learns how to sell newspapers, then becomes a politician, and basically his fall after that. And the whole thing leads up with exactly how I started this intro. It's a zoomed in shot on him after sort of a panning of his stuff around him where we know that he is very influential, and it's him saying, Rosebud. Then we pan off to a detective, and basically his job is to find out what is Rosebud. Why is this word so important to such a prominent man in society? And he does this by going through and talking to people from his past. And through flashbacks of talking with them, we find out his entire story from there. Okay. Now, this movie has been basically talked about as the best of all time. I've heard many people say it's the best movie of all time. It's been at the top of the AFI Top 100 list about being the best of all time. Personally, I don't see it like that. I enjoyed this movie watching it just because of the historical aspect, but I don't think it's one of the best of all time. There's times that the story is dry. There's times that it's really not being pushed forward, and it's missing a lot of stuff acting-wise and everything like that. And I just think there's a lot of movies that are way better than this one, but that's my personal opinion. Now, I will say, most of the people that say this is the best of all time say it because it's the first ever modern movie that's ever been made. And that comes from the cinematography and the storytelling that it's used. There had never been a story done like this. Not a story done through flashbacks, not sort of a mystery such as this where it comes through and has sort of the low and high angle shots and everything. The stories have been very straightforward and cinematography have been very straightforward, and this one sort of changed all of that. Now, that makes this movie very influential. And I could see how people would enjoy that and how it's very important to know this movie for film history and everything. But from an actual movie standpoint, like I said, I don't find this as one of the best of all time. I find it very entertaining. I find it very good. I find it great writing and everything, but I just don't find it that like push forward that does it. Anyway, but going through, like I said, there's a whole story. He tries to find out who Rosebud is. And they go through the entire rise and fall of his power, not knowing exactly what Rosebud is until the very end. And in fact, I'm not going to put anything away, but there's sort of a very important scene in it that you need to see, and it just follows how Rosebud leads everything back. It puts it all together right at the very end. So if you're really confused about this while you watch it, it's one of those you have to get through. You have to keep watching, enjoy the story, enjoy what's going on, sort of know exactly how we went to and from, and it all comes together at the end for everybody. So make sure you check this out. Now, this movie was put up for a lot of Academy Awards. It was put up for 9 of them. Okay, it was put up for Best Picture, Best Actor in Leading Role to Orson Welles, Best Director for Orson Welles, Best Cinematography, Best Art Direction, Best Sound Recording, Best Film Editing, and Best Scoring of a Dramatic Picture. Now, those are the 8 nominees that it had, but it also had 1 win, and that was Best Writing for Best Original Screenplay. And this was back in the 1942 awards because the movie came out in 1941. And like I said, it's one of those that it's a good movie. It has very historical significance, and it did deserve sort of that writing because the ones that came out in there wasn't as much original screenplay to it, and just the way that it was, the fact it was so new, there was no way it wasn't going to at least win that. And I think coming from the award standpoint, it really gets it head on about how all of this sort of comes together, that it's a good movie, but overall, I mean, unless you're a film historian and you enjoy watching stuff for historical sake like I do, it's one of those that you could probably skip over. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of this movie. I do enjoy watching it from the historical aspect, but I just don't think it's one of the best of all time. But still, like I said, if you're into that movie history stuff, go ahead and check it out. Citizen Kane left me feeling meh. Hashtag Rosebud. Hashtag overhyped. Anyway, guys, if you do like these classic films, please be sure to subscribe down below and hit that like button. Also, comment with what you think about this. I'd like to know what you think about this, sort of get an idea of why maybe this is one of the best films of all time. Maybe there's something that I'm missing when I'm watching it because I'm not perfect, I'm just human. So go ahead and comment down below if you like this film, why you think it might be high up there as well. I'd be really more than willing to read those comments and start a conversation with you as well. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please be sure to subscribe down below. God bless all of you. And that's a wrap.